looking at the ESE Mini Futures 2000 tick chart, and we're using price action rules and market geometry to determine where to enter for high probability setups. So looking at the overnight session, there wasn't a lot. We have this strong spike up, break, push to new extreme, spike down, break here, push to new low, and then the market opened around this area here. For the most part, we've been in a trading range all morning, and there's no clear wider uptrend or downtrend, no clear structure. So in times like that, it's area development. So I'm not really looking for a trade. I'm just following my short-term trend lines. And then once we found this trading range, I was looking to buy low, sell high, but there was just no good high probability setups in here. We're really only using these like short-term downtrends and short-term uptrends to figure out when bull pressure is played out or when bear pressure is played out, right? So you want break out of the channel, push to new extreme, and then a nice short setup wherever your key entry point is, though. Has to be at a key entry point. It can't just be in the middle of nowhere, no man's land. Got to be patient. Now we have this uptrend working higher, and you can see we're kind of consolidating sideways. I don't like to see a bunch of bars stacked like that. Like we do have a, let's see, new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long here, and then a higher low confirming it in this uptrend. But you can see there's like a multiple test area here, a bunch of bars sideways. It looks like a barcode. You really just got to be patient in times like this, because even though we're in an uptrend and we're touching EMA, right? Like you have to watch price action from all angles, and you can see it's really struggling to go higher here, especially with a second entry long and higher low forming like that, triggering, and then look at this big bear bar. You can see that there's a small consolidation that is keeping prices stuck in this area. So sitting on my hands, I don't want to take anything just yet. If we do get like a nice second entry long, I want to see a little bit more of a pullback. Maybe if it's touching the EMA and this trend line, I can consider. But other than that, I'm not really looking for any trades. I'm just letting the market do its thing. I got to trade the market I get, not the market I want, kind of thing, So I'll sit patient and we'll see what happens here. All right, I'm going to play a smaller channel here. We had this wider channel here, but you can see it just consolidated sideways. This looked a lot like a break push to new extreme, and then we've retraced so much of that uptrend with a nice downtrend working lower. I'm just going to treat it as break new extreme. Consolidation here, breakout to the downside. We're below EMA now, nice downtrend. Hopefully we can get a second entry short at the EMA to test new low of this. So as you can see, we had overshoot of this downtrend right here, but it continued to push lower. So when you see that, you got to widen because it's not acting as overshoot. Overshoot leads to reversal, and it didn't reverse. So we got to widen this downtrend. It's turning out to be a pretty good downtrend here. So if we get break, we'll definitely need new extreme. I'm hoping we can get a short setup. All right, guys, coming back as I entered this trade. It's a little bit more risky because it's a doji and it ended up closing above EMA. But you can see it's a second entry short and we need new low for this downtrend. So I have a lot of confidence that this trade will end up working out. All right, we got the scalp. I'm going to move my stop to break even. Hopefully we can reach this 16, and then I'm going to leave this as a runner, and I'm just going to manage it as it goes down. If we get like a strong push, it'll just be a bonus. But I'm hoping we'll be able to reach down to the 16. All right, looks like it stopped us out at break even, but we got our scalp. If we form some kind of lower high confirming this second entry short, I'd be interested in taking that as well. So we'll see what happens here. So I was looking for some kind of lower high below EMA. We did get this big bear bar, but you can see how big that bar is. 17 ticks. So it's way too big to enter on. Even if I would have put my 8 tick limit, let's see where that would be. Way up here. So you're entering when it's already about to fail. So it's a good trade to skip. Maybe we can get some kind of failed second entry long. One more test. I don't think we've created new low yet. Let's see. You're one tick away from creating new low, so maybe one more opportunity. But this can be considered new low since it's so close. You know, it can look like a double bottom. They may consider this new low, and we may form a new market structure. So kind of a no trade zone now that we've created new low. We're going to wait for the new structure, and hopefully we get some kind of trend or something like that that we can start to follow. Might have a trading range. I'm going to draw it a little bit early. Something like this. Start looking at this and see what happens here. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take my break. We created a new low for this downtrend, and we've been in this sideways consolidation here for a while. We had a failed breakout right here. I was looking for some kind of higher low after new low to confirm this failed breakout, but as you can see, nothing formed. We got this bear bar, and you can't go long above that. You can consider a double bar entry. Basically, when this bull bar forms, you can enter above that once it triggers, but I just wasn't willing to take the risk and put the money that I did make on the line. So I normally take one trade a day, but I'm going to continue to watch after my break, and if we make like a really good setup, then I could consider something. But for the most part, I'm just going to be sitting on my hands, sitting on my profit, save it for tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get a better day tomorrow. You can see we're in a range, kind of not a very healthy range either. Like we had this range, you can see there's a lot of empty room here, a lot of empty room here. We broke out of the top, came back down. This is the cleanest trading range we've had so far. So a lot of waiting, a lot of area of development, and a lot of waiting for those trades. So I'm going to take my break. I'll be back in about an hour. We'll see what the market's done. All right, guys, just came back from my break. Nothing really has happened. We had this spike down, break, push to new extreme, and we're just chopping sideways here. We did get a nice signal bar right here, but it's not really confirming anything. We already have new low, and it looks like it's just sideways. You can see super flat, looks like a barcode. So there's not too much going on. Still a waiting area. I was really hoping that we would come back to some, maybe there's a wider downtrend. It's a bit early. Yeah, this is decent, but you can see there's a lot of empty room. I might keep this. I'm gonna delete it for now, but we might look into some wider downtrend. It's just too sideways. You can see we just chopped sideways for a long time here, broke out, pushed up, broke down. Like there's no real downtrend or anything. So I'm just gonna play the short-term channels, break, new extreme, and we're just gonna sit here and see what the market wants to do. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it here with my one trade. Overall, the day's been pretty sideways. Possibly even just one big trading range. If we draw something, some kind of like this. Probably something like that. You can see it's just push phase, correction phase, push phase, correction phase all day, just super sideways. I did end up catching this one trade. There was one other trade this morning. Can't remember where it was. Oh, it was these ones here. So we had this uptrend working higher that needed to create new high, and we have a second entry long, and then a higher low even confirming it. If you were going for 6 ticks here, you probably would have gotten out, but if you're going for 8, I think this would have ended up stopping you out. And the reason I skipped it is you can see there's multiple tests trying to go higher, and it looks like there's, a resistance level right here. So going long directly into that is way too risky. You can even draw a small consolidation, and as you can see, you're going long right into the top of this small consolidation. Even though this uptrend needs new high, you want to look at price action as a whole. You don't want to get caught into one bias and end up taking something that takes money from you. So overall, nice day. Price action played out just as we would expect it to. Pretty much every channel had break and pushed a new extreme, especially here in the morning. You can see break, pushed a new low, break, pushed a new low, break, pushed a new low. Same with here. So overall, pretty good. Definitely a test of patience though. Trading ranges are always a lot harder to trade than anything else, I think, just because the rules are pretty difficult to understand, and it's sketchy trusting the top or bottom of a trading range. It really helps if you're gonna like take a short from the top that you're super far away from EMA, because EMA works as a magnet. I'll go ahead and show you guys my EMA settings here. So it's 21 bar, and I just have it black with width is 2, line and solid. So you can see it works as a magnet. Prices like to pull back to that EMA, and it can also be used as a key entry point to take trades off of. You can see it also rejects, depending on the bias, of course. It's just a supportive indicator. It's just a entry location, so take of that what you will. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, feel free to subscribe, or if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Good luck with your trading.